What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be breaking down how we helped one of our cosmetic clients generate over $161,000 in sales in just under 24 hours and over $320,000 in sales in the month of December. I'm going to be pulling back the curtain and not leaving any stone unturned here. I'm going to be showing you guys the ad account, the Klaviyo account, the content strategy, like I said, giving you guys every piece of the puzzle in terms of how we did this. Without further ado, let's hop on into the video. Okay guys, so let's dive on into the video. Now we're obviously onto the client's Shopify account here. Now just a few quick caveats, as obviously I have the the key info of the client blurred out due to respect for their privacy. Now obviously we didn't help them generate all of this $500,000, but we did help them generate a pretty good chunk of it. Today's video I'm going to break down exactly what we've did, not only leading up to this collection launch where we helped them generate over 160 grand in a day, but like I said, I'm going to show you the strategy that we used leading up to this, as well as the strategy on that specific day. So I'm going to go ahead and move myself out of the way, guys, so you can actually just see a little bit more of the KPIs here. So let's go ahead and pull up December 10th, the day in question, and what this video is about actually. So we generated $161,000 in revenue in one single day, around $111,000 in a single hour of the collection launch, which is absolutely insane. Pretty crazy increase in sales, obviously, which is to be expected. But the cool thing I want you guys to look at here is the conversion rate of the website. So really this is the amount of hype and the amount of sort of FOMO that we were building prior to the collection launch, getting people really ready. So you can see that the conversion rate was off the charts, as well as the returning customer rate. And the huge aspect from this, even though it is down prior to the day before, you can see the number of sales is not even in question. But the good thing here, right, is a lot of this came directly from our email marketing, which we're going to dive into the video. So without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and dive on into the video and break all of this down. Okay guys, so let's go ahead and dive on into this now. I'm going to break down exactly what we did prior to the collection launch, during the collection launch, to help this cosmetic brand generate over $161,000 in just 24 hours after Black Friday. And let's go ahead and dive on into this, guys. So quickly, let's go over a nice little brand breakdown and overview here. Now obviously I'm not going to give the specifics away due to brand and client confidentiality, but let's go over a few quick key points here that I want you guys to note. That so firstly, the current monthly revenue of this brand prior to us working together was around $150,000 a month to around $200,000 a month. So it's not like we came in and helped a brand that was doing $10,000-$20,000 a month and helped them generate 160 grand in a day. These guys had a very big customer base, which is really awesome, and it helped us allow us to have a big group of people to target. Another thing I want to go over is that they were a worldwide selling brand, meaning that they actually had the ability to ship to the USA, to United Kingdom, to Australia, and a ton of other places, which allowed us to scale that much quicker and get a little bit better results in terms of dealing with our competitors. And when I'm talking about competitors, I'm talking about the cosmetic space, because yes, this was a cosmetic brand, which we do work with quite a bit of. And then another thing to keep in mind, guys, is that they already had an amazing product and they already had amazing reviews, right? So that wasn't a hurdle that we necessarily needed to overcome with our actual marketing. They had reviews, they had amazing products. It was really about just driving more traffic to the website using paid ads and scaling up the brand that way. And just to let you guys know, right, like they had worked with a few agencies prior, but nothing that was of success. But leading up to this point, all of this, $200,000 a month essentially was all organic, which is pretty cool for the brand. And then the key objective and timeline, guys, just to give you a little bit more perspective here, is our goal was to break over $300,000 a month in the month of December and maintain over at least a 2.2x return on ad spend. And our goal, obviously we were starting with the brand around November 15th, so we were working with them for Black Friday and Cyber Monday, but with them they actually had an issue in terms of receiving their products. So more so we were sort of changing up our dates and pushing our sort of Black Friday sale into December, which is exactly what we did and how we had such a massive launch. And then our goal as an agency throughout this timeline was really to gain the trust of our client, because like I said, we only started working on them from November 15th. They already had a bit of issues in terms of gaining the actual products, so we really needed to make sure that the first time we were running ads together, which is essentially the beginning of December, we really had the ability to knock this out of the ballpark for them. And then let's go over the December and November prep. I really should have named this November, but let's go ahead and move forward, guys. So our goal moving forward, right when we onboarded the client, was first of all to migrate the data that they had from OmniSend all over to Klaviyo, because that's what we work on in terms of email marketing. Because not only were we managing their paid traffic, we were managing their email marketing as well. and we were implementing what we call our Klaviyo squeeze setup, which I'm not going to go over today as this isn't an email marketing video. But the next thing that we did is actually mapped out the content and offer calendar. So on our onboarding call, we sat down with a client and looked at basically from November 15th every single day to the end of the year. Let's map out exactly what content we're going to be using, exactly what offers, just to make sure that we're on the same page as the client and we can simultaneously launch ads at the exact same time. Everything's approved, and then there's really no scrambling and running around last minute on both ends in terms of getting things done. Lastly, the last two things, guys, is that we actually went ahead and implemented MER tracking, which is essentially a marketing efficiency ratio, and we'll go ahead and dive on that into the video just a little bit later, as well as ad account consolidation, and I'll go ahead and dive on that into the video once we actually dive into the ad account. Now, lastly, guys, is the content strategy. Now, normally we would use our own content team if needed to actually generate content for the client, whether it's user generated content, review videos, etc., whatnot. But a lot of the clients that we're starting to work with, especially some of these larger clients and more established clients, is that they already have a creative team in-house, right? So that we as an agency want to go ahead and leverage that. So starting out, we got a total of about 15 creative assets, using about 4 to 6 of their best sellers, right? Because we weren't just coming in and running just for this collection launch. We were kind of stagnant and running ads from around November the 20th, I believe, is when ads started running, but we didn't actually have a Black Friday and Cyber Monday sale. So just something to think about. And then we had our collection launch hype ads, which we only used 3 or 4 creatives, as well as the launch day creatives. Again, we had another 3 or 4 different creatives. And obviously the goal here, guys, is that we're using different content for each stage of our funnel: top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel, as well as our post-purchase campaign. And then in terms of the ads themselves, of course, we're using single image, video, as well as carousel ads. So super, super important, guys. Okay, homies, so we are now into the juicy part of the video. We're going to be breaking down the ad account, the structure, the consolidation, everything that we did, and the ideology behind it. So starting off, guys, let's go ahead and have a quick little breakdown here. We're looking at from December 1st, basically just the month of December. We only spent $6,300, 6x return on ad spend, generating around $40,000 in terms of revenue with a little bit of underreporting. This is more so around $43,000, $45,000, assuming. But you know what they say when you assume, right? Makes an asset of you and me. So we'll go ahead and leave that there. But without further ado, guys, you can go ahead and see the consolidation of the ad account, and that's actually what I'm going to start with right now. What does that mean? What do I mean by consolidating the ad account? Well, typically when we work with a lot of clients, and anyone that's worked with an agency in the past, generally these people have tens, if not literally hundreds, if not thousands of different campaigns, and it becomes almost impossible to navigate and look at the key KPIs and manage and optimize and do things at scale when you have so many different moving parts and so many different campaigns. So what we like to do is really come on in and firstly consolidate these ad accounts. And what do I mean by that, guys? We've consolidated them down regularly to around 3, 4, maybe 5 campaigns at a time, but generally each campaign has a different objective in terms of who it's targeting, the audience is targeting, the different ads that we're using, different creatives, and so on. So number one, we're going to open up our top of funnel creative campaign, guys, which is our prospecting campaign. I'm going to go ahead and show you firstly what we did in the month of December, and then obviously we'll break it down into this specific day, December 10th, when we generated over 160 grand. So I'm actually going to go ahead and move myself out of the way here, guys, just so you can get a little bit of a better view. But keep in mind as well, obviously, that most of this is going to be blurred out due to client confidentiality, as a lot of the naming conventions here do have the client's name in it. So just keep that in mind if this is blurred out throughout the video. But throughout the different types of ad sets that we use in top of funnel, guys, it was very, very broad, targeting different interests, different lookalike audiences, but again, very broad, not using 1% lookalikes. We're using basically 3% and up, just giving Facebook a little bit more oomph in terms of broader audiences, because that's what's been working the best for us across the board with all of our clients. And then we move into middle of funnel, guys, which again, in terms of consolidation, normally we would have these broken down, as you can see what we actually did prior, into IG engagers, Facebook social media engagers, broken down individually. And we ended up finding that it wasn't actually working the best. So we ended up consolidating it even further, giving a little bit of stacking these audiences, giving Facebook a little bit more people to deal with. And you can see obviously the 365 audience didn't perform the best, but around 180 days, which was sort of our sweet spot, we almost generated 6x return on ad spend there, which was absolutely amazing. And then moving into the bottom of funnel, guys, same thing, consolidation, right? You can see what we normally would do here with breaking down each website action. Well, we actually ended up just stacking all of those, throwing them into one ad set, and that worked amazingly as well. So in terms of consolidation, guys, this is really what's been working for a lot of our clients in terms of ad account structure. And then finally, we just had one collection launch campaign here. I'm going to have this blurred out as it does have the collection name written in it, so just bear in mind with that, guys. But again, throughout each different ad set, we were using different creatives to speak with each different type of person that's in each type of audience here. But one thing to note, guys, let's go ahead and look at December 10th, which was the day where we generated 78x return on ad spend. We only spent $350 on ads, but generated nearly 30 grand return on ad spend. Now, the reason being is what we call delayed attribution, guys, and this is actually what we knew would happen, and that's actually why, you know, we push a lot of our clients to use a lot of hype ads and things like that, because when we're running ads prior to the collection launch, you can see we spent around $1,000, $1,400 with a 1.18x return on ad spend, and the break even is over 2.2x. So we're obviously losing money here, but we were telling the client, hey, you know, hold your breath. This is all part of the plan, because we know, right, when we're pushing all of these ads and all of these hype ads in front of these people, it's consistently building that hype, that FOMO, etc. And then when that collection launch finally drops and all of these people are going to go buy, all of our ads are going to get a hell of a lot of delayed attribution, which is where we start to see things like this, right? On December 10th, right, you can see we spent $1,400, right? December 10th, we spent 356 with a nearly 80x return on ad spend. So guys, this is really what the power of not only consolidating your ad accounts can do, but obviously structuring things properly in terms of breaking things down, planning it out ahead, obviously in terms of your content as well as your offers. And it's going to allow you to not really need to spend a hell of a lot of money on ads and actually get crazy results. So let's go ahead and dive on into the rest of the video, guys, and I'll see you in the next part. Okay guys, so now we're going to be looking at the Klaviyo squeeze setup. Now, unfortunately, I had to use a screenshot here because of Klaviyo. There's really not an ability to sort of like navigate the pages without actually you guys seeing who the client is, and, you know, just giving away too much information. It's kind of a pain in the ass in the edits to edit rather, so I'm just a little bit lazy in this aspect, but bear with me, guys. So we ended up doing around $320,000 in the month of December, which was awesome, but we generated around 135 grand directly from email marketing, which is absolutely insane. The good thing here, guys, is that we can kind of still get a pretty good picture as to what we did in terms of our setups. So obviously this is our first time moving over the client to Klaviyo. Now, there was a lot of setup in terms of eliminating their old audiences and really just segmenting out the audiences that they had from OmniSend, because there's a lot of stuff that we had to move over and a lot of stuff that we had to kill, and that's sort of the things that we do prior leading up to the month of December. In November, we were sending a lot of what we like to call sort of test campaigns to kind of gauge, you know, how people are reacting to our current emails, how people have reacted to the past, obviously looking at our past KPIs on OmniSend, but we do things a little bit different on Klaviyo, so we wanted to test things out there as well and kind of see how people are responding, and then from there we can kind of go ahead and start segmenting our audiences. Obviously, we went ahead and start building out our flows. As you can see, you know, our main flows that we had was abandon, checkout, reminder, post-purchase, follow-up, and then our welcome series, which was super important because this brand actually had 0 of these prior, even though they were running ads, running emails using OmniSend. So that was super important for us to get in place. As you can see, we only generated 7% of revenue from there, but that's still over $21,000 of revenue just from automated flows. And this is something that we sort of set and forget. And obviously there's going to be little tweaks here and there. This was, you know, the first iteration of the flows. So there is a little bit of optimization that goes into this, but mostly, like I said, it's sort of a set and leave sort of thing. And then you can see we had basically 36% of revenue come directly from campaigns. Now, the majority of this, like I said, was sort of the hype campaigns, like I actually showed in one of our previous videos, 200K in 7 days. This is for a different cosmetic client, but rather same sort of ideology, right? Where we were sending emails leading up, letting people know, hey, we have something special coming, etc., letting people know, hey, we weren't necessarily going to have a Black Friday and Cyber Monday sale. So that let, you know, our main customer base already know, okay, so there's not going to be a sale from this cosmetic brand during this time. We can have something to expect moving forward in December. And then we obviously had a bunch of hype campaigns going out leading forward, and then that ended up generating a crazy amount of revenue. So after everything was said and done, we did around $135,000 directly from email marketing, which was huge. But again, right, this is, you know, take this with a grain of salt, because this brand had a massive loyal customer base already. They just weren't utilizing it properly in terms of their email marketing. So when we came in, this was really an easy setup. It was just more so getting the proper campaigns and the audiences segmented properly, as well as setting up the things like the automated flows and whatnot. And then this really allowed us to take off and help the brand, you know, literally have nearly a 40% generated of their revenue come directly from email marketing, which is huge. Okay guys, so simply put, we're going to be taking a look at marketing efficiency ratio now, MER. Now, what does this mean? And, you know, typically how can you actually come up with this number? So first of all, put simply, marketing efficiency ratio is going to be the total amount of revenue that your store makes on any given single month, year, any given time frame, divided by the total amount of ad spend on all marketing channels. Now, this means all marketing channels, right? Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, Google, email marketing as well. You're going to be taking into account all of these numbers, because what MER is going to allow you to do, guys, and why it's so important and why we're actually getting this involved in with all of our clients now, is it allows you to take a step back, so to speak, and really look at the performance of all of your marketing without having to worry about, each individual platform's KPIs, where obviously these are still super important for you to track, right? You obviously want to be looking at things like your ROAS and things like that, but it's going to allow you to build a much more stronger marketing plan without having to stress about things going from, a 3x return on ad spend on Facebook dropping down to a 2x return on ad spend. So MER, it can help you sort of allow you to get a more of a holistic view on all of your marketing assets. Again, it's really useful, especially after iOS 14 and things like that, where, a lot of the tracking and data has become a little bit more scarce and it's not as accurate. So instead of relying on these platforms where they're already missing data in the first place, allowing MER to become our North Star instead of ROAS is going to allow us to make much more clear decisions and business decisions as to, do we want to increase our budget? Because, like I said, if 1 month our return on ad spend on Facebook goes from a 3x down to a 2x, but overall revenue is still increasing, we really want to be taking a look at that marketing efficiency ratio, making sure that, what is our return on ad spend there? Do we still have some money to invest at least 10-15% of our revenue back into marketing every single month? And that's really going to be the bottom line, right? Is using that MER as that North Star for not only, all of our clients moving forward, but any brand that you guys work with, or even your own brand. Using marketing efficiency ratio is going to be so key, like I said, especially after iOS 14 and as we move into the digital marketing landscape more and more in 2022. You're going to want to be starting to take a look more of a holistic approach as you guys start to dive into different attribution or different platforms, as cross-channel attribution is going to happen no matter what. You really want to start looking at that MER. So I'm going to end the note off there, and I'm going to see you in the final point of the video. Okay, guys, so let's go ahead and end this video off. Now we're just going to be taking a look at the quick overview and sort of the breakdown of all the numbers and whatnot. Now, I'm not going to take too long on this part of the video, as I really wanted you guys to get the most from this video prior to everything that we went over in terms of looking at the ad accounts, looking at the structure of everything that we did, and sort of the ideology behind it. But overall, guys, in the month of December, we helped obviously pass our goal of over 300 grand a month in December. We did around 319,000, just shy of 320,000. I thought that sounded better throughout the video. The total ad spend on Facebook and Instagram was only $6,300. Total revenue generated directly from the ad account. Again, this is probably a little bit more taking into account underreporting on with iOS 14 and whatnot, but from the ad account, we generated $39,000 for a 6.32x return on ad spend. And then revenue from Klaviyo and email marketing was around $135,000, which was 42% of overall revenue coming directly from email marketing, which is huge. And especially with some of these larger, 7-figure brands, you guys should easily be getting anywhere from, I would say, 30 to 40% of your revenue every single month directly from email marketing. And then our marketing efficiency ratio was around 28x return on ad spend, which I think that speaks for itself. And obviously we could reinvest quite a bit more moving into the next month. And that's obviously what we're going to be doing in the month of January. But throughout the month of December and basically leading up, we really just wanted to build trust with this client, as it was their first time trying to work with an agency that they could actually trust and get results with. So now that we've done this, we've basically achieved our goal, and I'm going to go ahead and end this video off. So guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. Go ahead and hit the like button, the subscribe, all that YouTube jazz. Still getting used to, finishing off the video with that sort of stuff. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it gave you a little bit of an insight and a little bit of education in terms of consolidating ad accounts and what we do behind the scenes at our agency. So I'm going to end the video off. If you guys own an e-commerce brand that's doing a bare minimum $20,000 a month and you're looking to get help on things like this, down below in the description should be a link to our agency's scheduling page. And then from there, you guys can sort of fill out the questionnaire, and hopefully we can hop on a call and help you guys. But overall, I hope this really helped you guys learn quite a bit in terms of what to do and helping brands scale, not only with maybe if you own an agency, but even if you own your own brand. So thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.